Hi beautiful people, and welcome to another day in the life vlog. I thought it would be quite fun today just to show you a work day in the life so that you can see what exactly I do Monday to Friday and just get a little bit more of an insight into my life and get to know me a little bit better. It's just gone past 8. I've actually been working since about 7:15. Just because I got up early, so I thought why not, might as well do a few emails, just get back to a few people. So just to give a little bit of an overview, I work as an account manager for a marketing agency, so all that means is I have my own clients and I manage their accounts basically. So I manage their campaigns, I plan them, run them, manage them, report on them. Yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Every day is very different just because there are so many different media types, so many different ways to advertise, so it's definitely very different every day. Some days are just reporting days, some days are planning days, some days I get to talk to clients and I have a bunch of calls all day, and some days are internal meetings too because it's quite a big company, so there are a lot of updates. Yeah, so it's definitely very different, so I thought it would be quite cool just to show you what I get up to on a work day from home. I do have a couple of calls this morning, and then this afternoon is going to be pretty quiet in terms of calls, so I'm just going to get a couple of media plans done that I need to start planning for. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm just going to quickly show you my outfit so you can see what I'm wearing today. So this is what we're working with today. As you can see, my hair's super messy. I haven't bothered doing it obviously because I'm working from home, so I don't really see much point in doing that. Yeah, so I've just got this shirt on from Primark. It's got a really cute collar here as well. It's really flowy, really airy. It's got 2 slits at the side. So yeah, it just makes it all that more flowy. I know obviously it's really cold outside, but in the office, in most offices anyway, they whack the heating up in the winter and it's actually really warm inside but really cold outside, so it's a bit hard to find a balance. So yeah, I thought that was quite cool. I got a lot of wear out of this as well. I just really love the colour. It's very different to anything else I've got. And then I've just paired it with a plain pair of black jeans. I can't even remember where I got these from, to be honest. I want to say either Tesco maybe, or again Primark, but yeah, just a plain little outfit on today. Yeah, so I know I'm quite dressed up for working from home, but as I say, I've got a couple of meetings this morning, so I don't know, I feel like when I'm actually dressed for work and when I make an effort, obviously even if I'm working from home, I feel like I'm more in a work mode, and obviously I just feel like I have more control and I can just seize the day. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a mindset thing, I guess. So yeah, I'm just a bit more on it on my calls. But yeah, so that's what we're working with today. In the afternoon though, I don't have any calls and I do need to put my head down and start media planning for 2 plans, like I said earlier in the last clip. So yeah, I'll probably change into something a little bit more comfy once my meetings have finished. So for now, I'm going to go and make some toast. As I say, it's just gone past 8 now, so yeah, I'm quite hungry. I've been working since quite early, so I'm going to make some toast, make a sugar-free vanilla syrup coffee, and yeah, get back to work, start prepping for this first meeting. And it tastes so good as always. I absolutely love those sugar-free syrups that you get from TK Maxx. I might do a haul soon actually with a couple of them because they always come out with some Christmas flavours too. Yeah, so I've just set myself up now with a coffee and I'm just about to do a to-do list. And then I also need to prep for a call as well, so for my first client call that I've got this morning, just to make sure that my ducks are in a row and that I've got all of the statuses of every one of her campaigns in order so that I can run through them quickly. Yeah, just make efficient use of the time. So that's my plan for now, and I'll catch up with you when I'm doing my next thing. So I'm just about to go into my Skype meeting with my client, but before I do that, because I'm media planning this afternoon, I'm actually going to charge my work mobile. I don't use it very often, but it really does come in handy when you're media planning for placements that are abroad, so whether it's Germany, the US, anywhere, because obviously then we don't have to foot the bill, so that's really handy. So I'm just going to pop this on charge so that it's ready for this afternoon when I actually come to do my media planning. Hi, so I just got off my call, finished about 10 minutes early, which is quite handy, so it gives me a little bit more time. I've got another call in around 35 minutes, and I probably need to start setting up for that in about 30 minutes. And in the meantime, I've got some banners that I need to review, so just some artwork assets that I need to review before that call. They're just for one of the campaigns that I'm setting up at the moment. And then I've had a couple of client emails as well that I need to send over, and I also need to do a bit of a breakdown of one of my other clients' budget to show them what they've got left to spend for the year. So yeah, before I do that though, I'm definitely going to refill my coffee. Yeah, it's one of those days where I think I'm going to need multiple cups until this afternoon at least. So yeah, I will catch up with you after my next call. So I just got off my call with the client. I've actually got another call in 10 minutes as well, and that's actually a whole media team meeting training session for a new platform that we're going to all be using. So that should be good, get to know that platform a little bit better. That is going to be an hour long, so I'm going to set myself up with a nice hot drink and yeah, just get a little bit cozier for that. I've still got my shirt on though, so yeah, still feel on it. I've still got a couple of things to do, need to get back to a couple of clients. I'll probably do some emails in the background as well, just because it's going to be a lot of note taking and a lot of listening, because obviously it's a training session on a new thing, so yeah, that should be good. Anyway, so I'm going to get myself set up and I will catch up with you when I make myself a fresh cup of tea. Okay, so it's just gone 12:30 and I have actually locked the laptop screen because yeah, sensitive information and all that. I'm not actually allowed to show who I work with and their information, but I am allowed to kind of give you a brief overview. So yeah, got my laptop locked because of that. I've got my notebook out because whilst I was on my training meeting, and about half hour after that, a lot of different updates came up and a lot of different things happened where it's just changed my focus a little bit for the day, which is absolutely okay. But what I'm going to do, just because there are a couple of more things now that I need to add to my priority list, sometimes I do like to just kind of regather my thoughts and just put everything down on paper so I can get it out of my head, and anything I need to get done then I can just tick off. I absolutely love doing that as well, because obviously it's just such a good feeling when you manage to tick things off. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now, and then I think I'm going to pop on some shoes and probably head for a quick 10-minute walk. Yeah. It's just such a beautiful day outside, so I just definitely think, you know, as and when you can, just try and get outside. I think it's so good for changing your mindset, and I bet I'm going to be so much more productive now for the rest of the day. Like, as you can see, the sun's out, but it's just so nice. I don't know, there's just something about like being in Leeds and like being next to the trees, probably because I'm originally from Wales, which is in the middle of nowhere, so there's something about that that just feels quite cozy to me. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna head on back now and complete the rest of my afternoon and doing the work that needs to get done. I have just finished putting together a media proposal for a client, so that's good. I've gone through all of my #1 priority list things, so that's really good. I've had a really productive day, but I quickly just wanted to show you the kind of template that I use to put a media plan, so an advertising plan, whatever you want to call it, together, and just all of the information that you kind of need to gather to be able to really get a good insight and a good overview of how your advertising plan is going to look. So yeah, I'll just show you that now. So this is pretty much the template that I tend to use whenever I'm planning a campaign for a client, just because it has everything in there that they need to know. So what you need to include is the start date, obviously, of the placement. The end date's usually relevant when it's approved, but you can pop that in there too if you know what that is. The publication name itself, so they know who it's going with. So in the publication, if it's not an actual magazine or a website, you might put the social media platform that it is, so if you're using LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. And then the content, so you don't actually need to put the specific word-for-word content. So for instance, if it was a social post, you wouldn't need to put the full post in there, but you could just put yeah, so just a rough kind of guide of what it is for. So say if it was for a certain product, then you just put the product name in there. Or say if it was for a certain YouTube video, for instance, you just pop the YouTube video name in there. And then the language, so the language that the ad needs to be. That way we know if there's any translations that we need to do at the start, and we can factor that in the costs. And then we have the country, so the country that we're targeting from that specific placement. So from the specific ad that we've got in there, which country are we targeting? So it might be the case that you're targeting pan-Euro or worldwide, but quite often it's quite handy to do kind of niche targeting, at least per country, because that way you're able to obviously have it in the relevant language, and naturally you're going to get a higher higher and just better results from that. And then you have your insertion type, so what it is. So if it's again, if it's a Facebook post, if it's a video ad, if it's a scrolling ad, if it's maybe it's a print insertion, so a print ad in a magazine, and then the medium is whether it's online, whether it's email marketing, or whether it's a print insertion. And then you've got specifications, so again, it's just handy. You don't really need this for a proposal when you're trying to pull something together, but it's definitely needed when it comes to referring to this proposal, when it's approved, and when you start creating the asset. So it's just easier to get that done straight away, really. Yeah, just so that you have them there. And also, say if it's an ad, then you know, if you're proposing this to a client, or even to yourself, you know, if it's just one you're making for maybe a side hustle, it's good because then you're actually able to see how many words you get for the price that you're paying for, and yeah, and also just sort of the size of the image, so you know how big it is, and that way you get just a really good overview of the plan itself. And then estimated reach, so how many people you're going to be reaching on there. And then, yeah, the last thing is just a cost. So obviously that is the most important one, really. No, it really is, because obviously you need to stay within budget. But yeah, so that's kind of an overview of how I put a plan together. I thought you might like to see that for anyone who is watching and is interested in creating a advertising plan. I've had a really productive day today, and yeah, recently I've been having really productive days every day, and it's not to say that I don't have my days where I feel like I've achieved nothing but I've been doing everything. I think everybody has those days. So yeah, by no means am I saying that I don't get them, because I do. But recently I've basically been implementing some hacks, shall we say, that have been really helping me just to keep on top of things and just being productive, constantly just getting through one thing after the other and getting things done really quickly. So yeah, I thought I would share them with you. They might not work for you, they might work for you, but they work for me. So there are some things that you can do before work, which I think can really help with being productive, after work, which I really think can help with being productive, and also during work, that you can implement to really help you be productive. So I'm just gonna mention a couple of them very briefly. If you want me to do a full kind of how to stay motivated, get productive video, then again let me know. I think I'll be doing one of them anyway, so you should see that soon. So I'll just quickly go over some of the things now. So I've just written them down as there are actually so many of them, and that's also why I'm going to quickly go through them. So yeah, before work, I'd say just really something really obvious is just be hydrated and be full as well. Like, not so full so that you're kind of lethargic or anything, but yeah. I'd say definitely make sure that you make breakfast and just have a drink of something, like whether it's water, whether it's lemon water. That's actually really refreshing, so give it a go. My mum tipped me on that one and it's really good. Or just have a coffee, have a tea, have whatever you need, but just make sure that you have a good breakfast. It's going to fuel you for the day. Obviously, because then you're just more awake, so you're more likely to be productive anyway. The second tip is to tick something small off your list. So achieve something in the morning when you wake up. It can be something small, maybe make it be something personal as well, so nothing to do with work, because yeah, you want to kind of just feel motivated and ready and like you're in control of everything. And I feel like it's just setting you in that kind of mindset when you tick something off. So it could literally just be put a wash on, or wash the dishes if you've left them there, or I don't know, make your bed. Definitely make your bed, that's another thing as well. Just implement little things that you can kind of tick off, just really small things that really don't even take any amount of thinking in the morning, and then automatically you'll feel more productive because you feel like you've already achieved stuff, and it's almost an addictive feeling, so you're just carrying on kind of wanting to tick all of these things off during your day. The third tip I've got is, so we're kind of getting towards being in work now, is to-do lists. To-do lists are a key, literally. If you want to get anything done, do a to-do list. But I think it's not just about making a to-do list, it's about how you kind of structure your to-do list. So obviously do what works for you. So something I do is I always prioritise, like I showed you earlier. I always prioritise things 1 to 3, so it has to be between 1 to 3, so I can't carry on going kind of like, oh, it's a 4 priority, it's a 5 priority, and then it doesn't get done. It's a 1 to 3, and I have my own rules, so if it's a 1, it has to get done that day. There's no way that it can be moved. It's impossible for it to be done another day. It has to be done that day. So if you've got a deadline that has to be achieved that day, and you can't get an extension on it, or maybe something needs your manager's eyes on it as well, and she's not in for the rest of the week, so it has to be done that day. But yeah, anything that needs to be done that day is 1, and then a 2 are things that you'd like to get achieved that day, just because it would be good to get them done, but they don't necessarily have a deadline of that day, so they can wait until the next day. And then the next day they might turn into a 1 priority. And then 3s are usually, again, things that are on your horizon that you need to do, but again, then they're not really your priority, and they're just very time consuming, so you realistically know, even if they're a 2, maybe put them to a 3, because realistically you know that you're not going to achieve that, just because it takes more time than you have, and then you can know that you can schedule that into your week so that you have a good amount of time to get that task done properly. The fourth tip I'd say is, in your lunch break, on your break, just get outside for fresh air. Like, I think it's so underrated being outside, and I think because it's so cold, like naturally we all just want to stay indoors, and just it's easy to just pop your headphones in, you know, stay at your desks and not want to go anywhere. But just even if you're so busy that you don't get a lunch break, eat whilst you're working, just so that you can go for a 5-minute walk, get outside, make it your priority. I mean, I hope you are actually taking some time just to have maybe a 10-minute lunch, even if you can't take your full hour. But yeah, I think it's really important, just make time for yourself. Self-care is like a key thing to just for your sanity, and you know, if you're not feeling sane, then obviously you're just not going to be able to be productive. So my battery just went. I nearly made it as a proper vlogger, I'd say, with a full battery for the whole of the video, but just as I'm finishing it, yeah, the battery went. So anyway, just wanted to hop back on just to give you my final tip, and that is just to create a nice space. So wherever you're working, just create a nice kind of feeling space, somewhere where your brain can just kind of calm, relax, and just gather all of its thoughts, and then you can just tackle the day. You know, if you work from home, then just create a nice little desk space to work from. Sometimes I'll literally just bring the other coffee table in here. It's kind of a big coffee table, and pop a candle on, put some flowers there, and then just kind of sit on the fluffy rug and just work from there. And then other times I'll just actually sit by the desk and work from there. So yeah, just create a nice space. I actually hot desk in my work, so I can't exactly kind of bring flowers in or bring photo frames or anything in. I could, but I'd need to keep them in my bag, so I guess you could actually just get yeah, like a little photo frame and maybe like a little faux plant. That's what I tend to do at home anyway. So, but yeah, you could just take a little one with you and just carry it in your bag, and I suppose just pop it on whatever desk you're working on. That's easy enough. But something I do, because I work a mixture from hot desking and from home, is I just customize my work laptop. So I don't mean with like stickers and stuff, obviously not, but I just customize the desktop. So when I log in, I'm kind of just faced with all of these like inspirational things and quotes just for me to see, and they just automatically kind of inspire me. Another thing I really try and do as well is I always try to get a seat by the window when I'm hot desking, and I usually do, to be honest, just because again, it's just a nice kind of environment, and it's just a calming feeling as well. And when you feel kind of really cramped in, it's easy to get stressed, but I feel when you're next to this massive window, then you're automatically just yeah, a little bit more carefree, which is actually good for productivity, so in my opinion anyway. But yeah, as I say, they are all of my tips, and I will be doing a separate video with just some tips or hacks on how to stay motivated and be productive. So that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed a little insight into my work life. Again, every day is very different, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a shame that I can't show you exactly what I do or who I work with or what the campaigns are in kind of very specifically, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little overview that you had. I can, as I say, kind of show what I do but not who I do it with in detail in different campaigns. Maybe I can show you kind of how to set up a LinkedIn campaign, how to monitor it, how to optimize it and stuff like that. So if they're kind of videos that you'd also like to see, then I could do a couple of those as well. Yeah, so for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for sticking around if you're here still, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!